CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. Some exciting NBA All-Star news dropped today from ESPN. Shams Charania talking about a new tournament-style format for the 2025 All-Star Game, in which it wouldn't even be an All-Star Game, it would be All-Star Games, plural, consisting of 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, and the winner of the Rising Star Game in a tournament-style format. The 4 teams would face each other in matchups. For instance, Team 1 versus Team 3, Team 2 versus Team 4, and the winners move on to the final round of the tournament to face each other. So, it looks like Adam Silver is still not giving up and trying all he can to make the All-Star Game and All-Star Weekend as enticing as possible. Obviously, as is mentioned later in this article here, the Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu three-point contest brought a lot of eyeballs. There's been discussions about having Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark also participate in a similar event in the upcoming All-Star Weekend in 2025. So, yeah, it looks like they might continue that. That was a ton of fun. As far as the actual All-Star Game, however, I don't know. I just don't see this making it any more enticing. What does more teams add to the mix? I mean, first of all, there's one issue I have with this, and that is, what about any All-Stars that are also part of the Rising Stars teams? I mean, I guess I would assume that if a player is on the All-Star team and also the Rising Stars team, that they would default to being on the All-Star team. I guess. I don't know. Because there's more Rising Stars than there are All-Stars. So that would be my assumption, I guess. But what does adding more teams even do to this? I mean, here's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like the NBA Cup, NBA in-season tournament, whatever you want to call it. I think it was Scotty Barnes that was quoted as saying this, as well as other players that, you know, the main reason they care and they're competitive to win the in-season tournament is to win the money prize. And if you're not going to have a money prize for All-Star Weekend, I don't think players are going to try any harder because, I mean, let's face it, you know, a great performance in the All-Star Weekend does nothing for your team's performance, you know, in the regular season, and nothing for, in most cases, has nothing to do with contract incentives. Nothing that you do in the All-Star Game counts towards your regular season stats. So for anyone that has any kind of special clauses written in their contracts, you know, if you hit a certain percentage of three-point shots or number of rebounds in a year, what have you, yeah, it doesn't matter what you do in the All-Star Game. So until there is some kind of financial incentive or some kind of boost to your team, it doesn't matter. It really, I don't know if Adam Silver, if it's really stuck to him yet, like, this is not going to make players more competitive. Because that's the main issue at the end of the day. The players are not competitive enough in this game or games to where it's, you know, I don't want to watch it. I didn't watch it last year. I might watch a couple highlights after the fact, but I don't really want to watch the All-Star Game. It's boring. It's not exciting. The last exciting one, man, I can't even remember when the last exciting All-Star Game was. I've seen parts of the, I think if you YouTube search the 2001 NBA All-Star Game, I believe the whole broadcast is available to view on YouTube somewhere. And I'm sure some other All-Star Games are. You know, players would be a bit more competitive back then, but even then, they're not going all out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I get there, you know, at least he's doing something, I guess, but, you know, unless it starts affecting the players' bottom lines, if they're not going to try any harder, what's the point? You know? So let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I just don't see this doing anything. It'll be a new incentive to get eyeballs on the TV for the first 5 minutes, and once people realize the game's not very competitive, players not trying, people are going to click away. That's what's going to happen. So, I don't know. the 3-point contest is the only thing I'm looking forward to this year. I'm not even looking forward to the dunk contest anymore. I used to, like 10 years ago, and nowadays, I don't know, man. It's gotten more and more stale, boring. I just no, I just can't do it. Can't do it. But you let me know in the comments what your feelings are. I'm curious to see what other people's opinions are, if they align with mine, or if you got any other clever ideas that I have not mentioned yet. Let me know. And yes, before anyone comments, as a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm not ready to talk about yesterday's game versus the Jazz yet. I still have faith in this team long term for the remainder of the season, but oh man, that was a rough one yesterday. A lot of sloppy play, and the cherry on top was the last couple defensive possessions. But let's go ahead and do our predictions for today's games. We got quite a few NBA Cup games on the slate for tonight. If we go ahead and look at all of them here, we got Heat versus Pacers. I will go ahead and take the Pacers at home on this one. Sixers and Magic. Magic have proved me wrong the last couple games. I've picked against them and they've won, and they're playing at home now against the Sixers, who are not looking so hot as of recent, so I think I still got to go with the Magic here. Pistons and Raptors. Raptors have let me down the last couple times I've picked them, I believe, but they're going against the Pistons. They're at home, so I'll take the Raptors. Wizards and Hawks, I believe did they go 1-1? They've played twice already. I believe the Wizards won one, the Hawks won the other. I'm going to take the Hawks at home. Bulls and Cavs, definitely taking the Cavs, no question about it. Nets and Knicks, taking the Knicks, although that might be a somewhat close game. We'll see. Lakers and Spurs, I could see the Spurs getting the upset here. I don't know. I'm going to take the Lakers. I've bet against the Lakers, or picked against the Lakers too many times. And then Clippers, Rockets, we'll take the Rockets at home. Nuggets, Pelicans, we'll take the Nuggets on the road. The Pelicans, just too many injuries right now. Thunder and Suns, definitely taking the Thunder. Warriors, Grizzlies, it's hard to pick against the Warriors right now. I really want to pick the Grizzlies because I like Zach Edey, but the Warriors are definitely fighting for that NBA Cup. You saw how they played against the Mavs the other night. Timberwolves and Kings. Timberwolves have been struggling a little bit. They lost the last couple games on the road in Portland. Now they got to go up against a tougher team in Sacramento. I don't know. Do they make the comeback here, or do they fall three? Is it 3 in a row they'd lose, or 4 in a row? I don't even know at this point. It's kind of ironic. The two teams that made the Western Conference Finals last year sitting at 11th and 12th in the West at the moment. I will go ahead and take the Kings. It just feels like the safe pick. Now, again, we compare these picks to the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds. I'm not promoting or encouraging that you use them. I'm not partnered or affiliated with any sports betting, sports gambling site. If you're going to do it responsibly. I'm just sharing my opinion and comparing for fun. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the odds. Indiana favored at home, Orlando favored at home, only 2.5 under. Detroit favored on the road against Toronto. Okay. And then Atlanta favored at home by 9. That's actually a bigger margin than I expected. Cleveland favored by 10. New York favored by 10. The Lakers favored 2.5 on the road. Houston favored by 5. Denver favored by 3. OKC favored by 8. Golden State favored. Minnesota still favored despite losing 2 in a row, but we're still taking the Kings on that one. Let me know what your picks are in the comments down below. Click one of the videos on your screen right now for some more NBA discussion.